Welcome to Life Partner by Casey Lee. This is The Dating Files, a segment where we look at real dating situations and the quiet moments that determine whether a relationship grows or slowly fades. Before we begin, a quick note. This podcast is for educational and reflective purposes only. It's not therapy, medical advice, or a substitute for professional care. The cases shared here are anonymous, and some are composites of women I've had the honor of coaching. The goal is to help you recognize patterns more clearly so that you can make decisions that feel aligned with the relationship that you want. She met him in her late 30s, and almost immediately there was a sense of relief. Not fireworks, not obsession, just calm. He texted when he said he would. He didn't disappear for days, and plans happened when they were made. She noticed herself checking her phone less, and she remembers thinking, oh, is this what it feels like when someone is just here? By month 2, they had a rhythm. Weeknight dinners, lazy weekends, familiarity without boredom. He introduced her to friends. He talked casually about wanting a relationship someday, not urgently, but just like it was part of his future. Nothing felt forced, and for the first time in a long time, her body relaxed. Then, somewhere around month 4, the energy shifted. Not dramatically, not in a way that you could point to, just quieter. Conversation stayed pleasant, but lighter. When she shared something vulnerable, it didn't quite land, and she found herself editing just a little bit. She told herself she was overthinking. Then, one night, after a genuinely nice evening with good food and easy laughter, she said something that felt natural in the moment. She said, "I really like what we're building. I feel close to you." He smiled, he pulled her into a hug, and everything seemed fine. But a couple of days later, her phone felt heavier, with fewer texts, longer gaps. And when she finally asked what was going on, he said, "I just need some space. I'm not sure I'm ready for something serious." She remembers her stomach dropping, because from her side, nothing had changed. And the thought that kept looping was, did I just ruin this? But here's what she could not see from the inside. He could do closeness when it felt easy, like spending time together, enjoying her company, and being affectionate without having to define anything. Before that conversation, the relationship asked very little of him emotionally. But the moment she named the connection, it stopped being casual, even if she didn't mean it to be. Now the relationship had a shape. Now it meant something. And for someone who is not emotionally ready, that can feel uncomfortable in a way that they don't know how to explain. From the outside, it looks confusing. From the inside, it often feels like quiet panic. So instead of leaning in, he leaned back. Not because she asked for too much, but because she arrived at a depth that he could not stay present with. The turning point wasn't her sentence. It was the moment the relationship stopped being something he could enjoy and became something that he had to participate in emotionally. Before that night, he could feel close without being known. After it, he would have to show up differently. This is why these moments feel so destabilizing, because everything looks fine until one honest sentence reveals the truth. But here's what I want you to hear. She didn't push, she didn't scare him away, and she didn't say the wrong thing. She simply reached a moment that the relationship could not hold. And relationships that are meant to last don't fall apart when you speak honestly. They get stronger. If this story felt uncomfortably familiar and you want help understanding what patterns are showing up in your own dating life, I talk about this more in my free workshop. You'll find the link in the description. And for those of you who want to go a little deeper quietly, I recorded a private continuation where I talk about what I'd say if you were my client, the part that we don't usually talk about publicly, and how to emotionally hold this week. That lives inside the Members Only podcast, and you can find the link in the show notes. This conversation is complete as it is. I'm really glad you're here. Stay steady and stay aligned with the relationship that you want.